Most of us have been told for years that walking is the key to staying healthy as we age. Doctors, magazines, and even friends often say, just walk 30 minutes a day and you'll stay fit. And yes, walking is healthy. It improves circulation, lowers blood pressure, and keeps our joints moving. But here's the surprising truth that researchers from Harvard Medical School and the Mayo Clinic are now sharing. After the age of 60, walking alone may not be enough to keep you strong, steady, and independent. Why? Because walking mainly trains endurance. It gets your heart rate up, but it doesn't fully protect the muscles, balance, and bones that start to weaken as we grow older. A recent study from the University of California showed that seniors who only walked daily still experienced up to a 30% decline in leg strength over 5 years. Meanwhile, those who added just a few targeted movements each week maintained much better balance and were less likely to suffer falls. Think about it. Walking moves your body in one simple, repetitive motion, step after step. But real life demands so much more. Getting out of a chair, climbing stairs, bending to tie your shoes, carrying groceries. These actions require strength, flexibility, and stability in ways walking simply doesn't train. And here's the part most people don't realize. Surgeons who work with older patients recovering from hip and knee surgeries now say that the people who heal fastest, and sometimes even avoid surgery altogether, are the ones who practice specific, simple exercises beyond walking. So in this video, we'll uncover the 5 movements doctors and physical therapists in the US are now recommending for adults over 60. These are not complicated gym workouts. They're safe, practical exercises you can do right at home, and they target the muscles and balance systems walking alone misses. Stay with me, because by the end, I'll reveal the #1 surgeon-approved move that can protect your independence better than any daily walk. It's simple, it's free, and it could make the difference between relying on others or staying active on your own for years to come. For decades, we've been told that walking is the ultimate form of exercise. And for many seniors, it feels safe, familiar, and accessible. No fancy equipment, no gym membership, just a comfortable pair of shoes. Walking truly is wonderful for the heart, circulation, and mental health. But here's the problem. According to the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Health, after age 60, walking by itself cannot stop the natural changes your body is going through. Let's look at the facts. Research shows that starting around age 60, adults lose about 3% of their muscle strength every year if they don't actively train those muscles. The Cleveland Clinic warns that this gradual loss, called sarcopenia, makes everyday tasks harder, not just exercise. Things like lifting a bag of groceries, standing up from a chair, or even keeping your balance when stepping off a curb become risky. Add to this the steady decline in bone density, especially in women after menopause, and you see why falls and fractures are such a serious threat in older age. Here's the truth that too few people talk about. Walking doesn't directly train your muscles for strength, nor does it improve bone density in the way targeted movements can. Harvard Health notes that many seniors who only walk may still face severe balance problems, weak legs, and brittle bones. In fact, a large study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that seniors who included strength and balance training along with walking reduced their fall risk by nearly 40% compared to those who just walked daily. This is why experts now emphasize a shift in thinking. Yes, keep walking, but don't stop there. If your goal is not just to live longer, but to live independently, you need to rethink your exercise routine. Imagine the difference between living your 70s and 80s with confidence, walking steadily, climbing stairs without fear, enjoying hobbies and family, and versus relying on a cane, walker, or even needing help with daily activities. And that's the key, independence. Doctors from Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic often remind their patients that exercise after 60 isn't about chasing marathon medals or building huge muscles. It's about protecting your freedom, the freedom to cook, garden, play with your grandchildren, and move around your own home without fear of falling. That's why in this video, we'll explore the 5 powerful movements that fill in the gaps walking alone cannot. Simple, proven exercises that strengthen your legs, bones, and balance, giving you the best chance to stay active, independent, and in control of your future. Before we dive into the first exercise, I'd love to hear from you. Could you share your age and where you're watching from in the comments below? You'd be surprised how many people your age are tuning in from all across the country, and even around the world. We read every single comment because your journey matters. When you share your story, whether you're 62 and just starting to exercise or 78 and proving it's never too late, you inspire someone else who might be struggling to take that first step. This channel has become more than just videos. It's a growing community of older adults encouraging one another to stay strong, stay active, and stay independent. And if you're finding this message helpful so far, a quick tap on the like button helps this video reach more people just like you. And of course, if you want to keep learning simple, science-backed tips for healthier aging, don't forget to subscribe and join our family here at Wisdom in Old Age and exercise number 5, wall push-ups with a twist. Let's talk about one of the most underrated but surgeon-approved moves for seniors. The wall push-up with a twist. At first glance, it might seem too simple. After all, many people think push-ups are only for younger folks at the gym. But here's the hidden truth. Wall push-ups, especially when modified with a gentle twist, offer benefits that walking simply cannot provide. Walking mostly engages the lower body and cardiovascular system, which is important, but it does very little for your arms, shoulders, chest, and core. According to the Cleveland Clinic, seniors who neglect upper body strength are far more likely to struggle with daily tasks like carrying groceries, lifting a grandchild, or even steadying themselves during a stumble. That's where this exercise steps in. Orthopedic surgeons often point to the wall push-up as a joint-friendly strength builder. Unlike traditional floor push-ups, which can put too much strain on wrists, shoulders, and lower back, wall push-ups allow you to control your angle, making them safe yet effective. When you add a gentle twist at the top of the movement, you not only build pressing strength, but also engage your oblique muscles, the ones that help you rotate and stabilize your torso. Surgeons emphasize this because rotational strength is crucial for preventing falls. If you trip or lose your balance, your body's ability to twist and stabilize can literally save you from hitting the ground. Step-by-step instructions. Stand facing a wall, about 2 feet away. Place your palms flat against the wall, shoulder-width apart, at chest height. Keep your body straight from head to heels, no sagging hips. Slowly bend your elbows, lowering your chest toward the wall as if doing a push-up. Push back to the starting position. And here's the twist. As you straighten your arms, gently rotate your torso to the right, lifting your right shoulder slightly back. Return to center, repeat the push-up, and this time twist to the left. Continue alternating sides, performing 8 to 12 repetitions. Easier variation. Stand closer to the wall to reduce resistance. More challenging variation. Step your feet farther back, or perform the push-up against a sturdy countertop for greater resistance. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that modified push-ups engage up to 75% of the chest and arm muscles used in standard push-ups, but with far less strain on the joints. Harvard Health adds that core engagement from rotational moves improves balance and reduces fall risk by nearly 30%. Think about the movements you make every day: pushing open a heavy door at the store, lifting a laundry basket, or catching yourself when you trip on an uneven sidewalk. These all require pressing power and rotational stability. Strengthening your chest, shoulders, arms, and core with wall push-ups means you're better equipped to handle those real-world challenges. One senior I spoke with, a 72-year-old named Richard from Ohio, shared his story. He admitted he used to avoid upper body exercises, thinking walking was enough. But after starting wall push-ups, he noticed something remarkable. Carrying heavy grocery bags no longer left him exhausted, and he felt steadier when stepping off curbs. In his own words, "It's such a simple move, but it gave me back strength I thought was gone for good." That's the power of this exercise. It's not about building a bodybuilder's chest. It's about reclaiming strength you thought you lost with age. Surgeons remind us that the ability to push, rotate, and stabilize is central to independence. The wall push-up with a twist is a small daily habit that can protect your freedom to live life on your terms. Exercise number 4. Seated leg lifts with holds. Sometimes the simplest movements have the biggest impact on your daily life. Seated leg lifts with holds may not look as glamorous as a gym workout, but don't underestimate them. For seniors over 60, this surgeon-approved move can mean the difference between shuffling slowly across a room and walking confidently with steady steps. Walking is great for circulation, but it doesn't specifically target the muscles that lift your legs with control, your hip flexors, quads, and core. According to the Mayo Clinic, weak hip flexors are one of the leading causes of mobility decline in older adults. When those muscles weaken, even simple actions like stepping onto a curb, climbing stairs, or getting up from a chair become harder. That's where seated leg lifts shine. By isolating and strengthening these muscles, you're training your body to react faster and stay stable. A study from the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors who performed leg lift exercises 3 times a week improved their walking speed by 15% and reaction time by nearly 20%. Both critical factors in preventing falls. Step-by-step instructions. 1. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with your back straight and feet flat on the floor. Place your hands lightly on the sides of the chair for balance. Slowly, lift your right leg until it's straight in front of you, keeping your toes pointed up. Hold this position for 3 to 5 seconds, feeling your thigh and core muscles working. Lower your leg back down with control. Repeat with your left leg. Perform 8 to 10 lifts per leg, gradually building up to 12-15 as you get stronger. Easier variation. Lift your leg only halfway, or reduce the hold time to 1 to 2 seconds. Advanced variation. Add light ankle weights, or hold the leg up for 8 to 10 seconds. Strong leg muscles don't just help with walking, they directly improve circulation. Harvard Health reports that seated leg lifts encourage blood flow in the lower limbs, reducing swelling and lowering the risk of dangerous clots that can form when blood pools in weak, inactive muscles. Good circulation also means less stiffness, faster healing, and more energy for daily life. By holding the leg at the top, you're training your muscles to stay engaged longer. The Cleveland Clinic highlights that isometric holds like these are especially important for seniors because they build endurance. The kind of strength that helps you stand in line at the store, walk upstairs, or bend down without feeling drained. Imagine this. You're walking upstairs at your daughter's home. Instead of gripping the railing for dear life, you step up steadily, 1 foot after the other, without fear of losing your balance. Or picture sitting at a restaurant and getting up smoothly without needing someone's arm for support. These small victories are the building blocks of independence. I remember speaking with Margaret, a 68-year-old grandmother from Florida. She confessed that before starting leg lifts, her ankles swelled so badly by evening that she dreaded family gatherings. But after 2 months of consistent practice, not only did her swelling reduce, she felt strong enough to join her grandchildren on a short hike. In her words, "I didn't just walk faster, I felt younger. That's the gift of seated leg lifts with holds. They don't require fancy equipment or even standing up. Yet they restore the strength, circulation, and stability that so many seniors lose after 60. It's a reminder that even while seated, you can take control of your health and protect your independence. A few minutes a day could mean years of confident walking, steadier steps, and the joy of living life without constant worry of falling. Let's take a quick pause together. You've just learned a couple of powerful exercises, and I want to ask, are you following along from home? If you haven't yet, don't worry. You can pause this video at any time and try the moves right where you are. Even doing just 1 or 2 repetitions now can give you a feel for how these simple exercises work, your body in ways walking alone cannot. Here's something important to remember. Progress doesn't have to be big to be meaningful. The Mayo Clinic often reminds patients that even the smallest improvements in strength or balance can make a huge difference in preventing falls and keeping independence. Maybe today you can only hold your leg lift for 2 seconds, or maybe you manage 3 wall push-ups. That's still a victory, because every step, no matter how small, is a step toward a stronger, safer, more independent you. I'd love for you to share in the comments, which exercise are you most excited to start with today? Your answer might inspire someone else who feels nervous about beginning. And if you find this kind of gentle guidance helpful, don't forget to subscribe. Here at Wisdom in Old Age, we share proven, surgeon-approved ways to stay strong, independent, and full of life well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Exercise number 3. Sit to stand with controlled hold. If there's one single exercise that doctors and surgeons say can predict your independence as you age, it's the sit to stand. In fact, researchers often use this very movement as a test to measure mobility, fall risk, and even overall health in older adults. Why? Because the ability to stand up from a chair without using your hands reflects the strength of your legs, your core, and your balance, all at once. Walking doesn't train the full range of muscles needed to rise from a seated position. Your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and core all have to fire together in perfect coordination. According to the Cleveland Clinic, weakness in these areas is one of the earliest warning signs of losing independence. If standing up becomes a struggle, it affects every part of your daily life, from using the bathroom, to getting out of bed, to sitting down for dinner with your family. Surgeons emphasize this move because it mirrors real life. Unlike gym machines or fancy exercises, sit to stand directly connects to your ability to live independently. Harvard Health notes that difficulty standing from a chair doubles the risk of falls and increases the chance of needing long-term care. Step-by-step instructions. 1. Sit on a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the ground, hip-width apart. 2. Cross your arms over your chest or hold them lightly in front of you. Lean forward slightly from the hips. Engage your core and push through your heels as you stand up slowly. Once fully standing, pause and hold your balance for 2 to 3 seconds. Slowly lower yourself back down to the chair with control, resisting the urge to plop into the seat. Repeat 8 to 10 times, gradually increasing to 12-15 as strength improves. Safety tips. Use a sturdy chair without wheels. If needed, place the chair against a wall for stability. Beginners can keep their hands lightly on the armrests until confident. The British Journal of Sports Medicine reported that seniors who performed sit-to-stand exercises regularly had up to a 30% lower mortality risk over an 8-year period compared to those who struggled with the movement. Another large study from the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society found that this single test was one of the best predictors of whether someone could live independently at age 80. Think of how often you stand up each day. From your favorite recliner, from the dining table, from the car. Each time your body needs strength, balance, and coordination. Practicing sit-to-stands trains those exact skills, so everyday life feels easier and safer. Now imagine this. You're visiting your grandchildren, and everyone gathers around the living room. Instead of asking for help or struggling to rise, you stand up smoothly on your own, joining in the fun without hesitation. It's a small act, but it carries so much dignity and independence. Let me share an example. Mary, a 74-year-old retired teacher from California, admitted she used to dread standing up from low chairs at social gatherings. "It made me feel embarrassed," she said. "I always needed someone's arm." But after committing to sit-to-stand exercises 3 times a week, she regained enough strength to get up confidently on her own. She described the change as a gift not just for me, but for my family, because now they don't worry so much about me. That's what this exercise is really about. More than muscles, it restores dignity and peace of mind. It reassures your family that you're strong, capable, and safe in your daily life. Surgeons remind us that independence in older age isn't measured by how far you can walk. It's measured by whether you can rise from a chair, from a bed, or from the toilet without needing help. The sit-to-stand with controlled hold is the foundation of that independence, and practicing it now protects your freedom for the years ahead. Exercise number 2, heel raises with balance training. There's one exercise that directly builds the kind of stability that saves lives. It's the heel raise with balance training. At first glance, it seems simple, just lifting your heels off the ground. But hidden in that small movement is a powerful way to train your balance, improve circulation, and strengthen the muscles that keep you on your feet. Falls are one of the biggest threats to independence after 60. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, 1 in 4 adults over age 65 experiences a fall each year, and many of those lead to fractures or hospital visits. Surgeons often point out that weak calves and poor proprioception, your body's ability to sense its position in space, are major contributors. Walking doesn't fully train these systems. That's why heel raises are such a valuable addition. When you rise up onto your toes, you're strengthening the calf muscles that act like shock absorbers for every step you take. But you're also training the tiny stabilizer muscles in your ankles and feet, which are critical for balance. Harvard Health explains that these muscles send constant feedback to your brain about your body's position, improving coordination and reducing fall risk. Orthopedic and geriatric specialists frequently recommend heel raises because they combine strength with neuromuscular training. By holding the position at the top, you activate your vestibular system, the part of your inner ear that helps control balance, and improve nerve firing in your legs. A study in the Journal of Aging Research showed that seniors who practiced heel raises 3 times a week reduced their fall risk by 23% within 6 months. Step-by-step instructions. 1. Stand tall behind a sturdy chair, lightly resting your hands on the back for support. Place your feet hip-width apart, toes pointing forward. Slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as possible. Hold the position at the top for 2 to 3 seconds, feeling your calves and ankles working. Lower your heels back down with control. Repeat 10-12 times, building up to 15-20 as your strength improves. Easier variation. Keep both hands firmly on the chair and lift just slightly off the ground. Advanced variation. Perform the exercise with one hand on the chair, or eventually with no support at all. For added challenge, try closing your eyes briefly while holding the top position, but only once you feel confident and safe. Why does this matter so much? Because catching yourself before a fall can literally save your life. Strong calves and better balance mean you're less likely to trip, stumble, or collapse when stepping off a curb or walking on uneven ground. It also makes walking feel smoother and more stable. Simple tasks, like reaching for something on a high shelf, climbing stairs, or standing in line at the store, suddenly become easier and safer. Take George, a 70-year-old from North Carolina. He shared that after a minor fall in his driveway, he realized how unsteady his legs had become. His surgeon recommended heel raises. At first, George needed both hands gripping the chair and could barely hold for a second. But with practice, he built strength and confidence. A few months later, he proudly said, "I can walk across the yard on uneven grass without fear. I feel like I've got my balance back." That's the beauty of heel raises with balance training. They look small, but they give you the power to prevent one of the most devastating events of aging, a fall. As surgeons often remind their patients, staying upright isn't about vanity. It's about independence, dignity, and peace of mind for both you and your family. Just a few minutes of heel raises each day can help ensure you keep moving steadily, safely, and confidently into the years ahead. Exercise. Number 1. The cross-crawl march, brain and body connection. We've saved the most fascinating and perhaps most powerful exercise for last. This one isn't just about moving your body, it's about protecting your brain. If you've been following along with the earlier exercises for strength and balance, this final movement ties it all together. It's simple, it can be done almost anywhere, and studies suggest it could lower your risk of dementia by up to 31%. Let me introduce you to the cross-crawl march. Now, before I explain the how, let's talk about the why. As we age, we're not only concerned about our physical strength, but also our ability to think clearly, remember names, recall faces, and make quick decisions. The cross-crawl march activates both the left and right hemispheres of the brain, forcing them to communicate in a way that improves neuroplasticity. That's your brain's ability to adapt, form new connections, and stay sharp. Think of it like giving your mind and body a tune-up at the same time. Surgeons and neurologists who work with older adults often emphasize this kind of dual-task movement. They've seen firsthand how seniors who continue practicing coordination exercises preserve both independence and cognitive function far better than those who don't. In other words, this move isn't just about walking better. It's about living better and longer. So what exactly is the cross-crawl march? Imagine marching in place, but with a twist. Each time you lift one knee, you touch it with the opposite hand. Right knee meets left hand, left knee meets right hand. This simple crossing action forces your brain to light up on both sides, keeping your neural pathways active and responsive. Let's walk through it step by step. Beginner version 1. Stand tall near a sturdy chair or wall for support. Slowly lift your right knee toward your chest. As you lift, gently reach across with your left hand to tap your knee. Lower both back down and repeat with the opposite side. Start with 5 to 10 repetitions per side. Intermediate version. 1. March in place at a steady rhythm. Lift your knees a little higher each time, reaching more purposefully with your opposite hand. Aim for 30 seconds to 1 minute of continuous marching advanced. Version 1. March in place without holding onto. Support 2. Add a slight twist in your torso as you reach across. Work up to 2 to 3 minutes at a time, or incorporate it into your daily walk by exaggerating the cross-body motion. Now, let's talk about the safety aspect. Always start slowly. If balance feels shaky, keep one hand on the back of a chair. Make sure your space is clear of clutter, rugs, or cords that could trip you. And remember, this exercise is about brain activation as much as body movement, so quality matters more than speed. What does the science say? A landmark study from the University of Illinois found that seniors who practiced cross-body coordination exercises showed measurable improvements in memory, processing speed, and even mood. Another analysis published in the journal Aging Research Reviews reported that incorporating movements like the cross-crawl could cut dementia risk significantly, in some cases by nearly 1/3. That's a massive difference for something you can do in just a few minutes a day. Let's bring this closer to real life. Picture Margaret, a 72-year-old grandmother from Ohio. A few years ago, she started forgetting small things: where she put her keys, what she had for breakfast. Her daughter introduced her to cross-crawl marching as a fun daily routine. At first it felt silly, but she kept at it. Over time, not only did her balance improve, but she noticed her memory lapses became less frequent. Today, Margaret jokes that she marches her way to better memory every morning before coffee. Her family feels at ease, knowing she's doing something to stay sharp. That's the heart of this exercise. It's not just moving your arms and legs. It's preserving your dignity, your independence, and your family's peace of mind. When you invest in movements that connect the body and brain, you're not just extending your years, you're enriching them. So take a moment right now. Stand up, lift your right knee, touch it with your left hand. Then switch sides. That's it. You've just done your first cross-crawl march. And remember, it may look simple, but it's one of the most profound gifts you can give yourself. A stronger body, a sharper mind, and the confidence to live fully. We've come to the end of this journey, but in many ways it's just the beginning for you. Walking is wonderful. It keeps the heart pumping, the lungs working, and the body moving. But as we've seen together, walking alone doesn't give you everything you need. These 5 surgeon-approved exercises go far beyond what a simple stroll can provide. They target strength, balance, independence, and even your brain's sharpness. Things that walking simply cannot guarantee. Every sit-to-stand you perform strengthens your legs for real-life independence. Every heel raise keeps you steady and confident when stepping off a curb. Every cross-crawl march doesn't just move your body. It strengthens your memory and sharpens your mind. These are more than exercises. They're insurance policies for your future self. And here's something worth remembering. You don't need to do them perfectly, and you don't need to start big. Even the smallest progress is powerful. Every rep, every hold, every march is a gift you're giving to the older version of you, the one who still wants to garden, play with grandkids, cook meals, or walk into church on her own 2 feet. Aging strong isn't about chasing youth. It's about preserving dignity, independence, and joy. If you've been sitting and listening, now is the time to take that first step. Choose one exercise, even if it's just 5 repetitions today. Tomorrow add another. Consistency matters more than intensity. Over time, those small steps will add up to something remarkable, a body and mind that continue to serve you well into your later years. And as you take on this journey, know that you're not alone. Together, here in this community, we can encourage one another, celebrate victories, and share wisdom. If this video has inspired you, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe. By doing so, you're not just supporting this channel, you're helping to build a community of strong, independent seniors who believe that aging can be done with strength, clarity, and grace. So let's leave with this thought. Old age is not something to fear or fight against. It is something to embrace with wisdom and preparation. With the right choices, your later years can be lived not in weakness or worry, but with the strength, clarity, and dignity you truly deserve. Thanks for watching.